Okay, coming at you again with some kitchen science. So once again, this is, by the way, this is my third video that I've done with this. My family keeps coming in and I keep messing things up. So hopefully this time it works. But like yesterday, so you built a barometer. So today you're going to build an anemometer. So the barometer we know measures air pressure, and an anemometer measures wind speed. So this is the second part of your weather station that you're going to be setting up. So you're going to set up this weather station, and over the next couple of days, what you're going to do is you're going to predict the weather determined by the wind speed and the higher the low pressure in the air. So you may have to go back to chapter 26 to look at what high or low pressure means, or watch the video again that was on Edpuzzle. Maybe take some notes that might help you a little bit to determine how you can predict weather using high or low pressure and wind speed. So, but to build the anemometer, so what we needed, I have 4 of these little Dixie cups, and what I've done is I've punched a little hole in them. I have a little hole punch that I'm using, but if you don't have a little hole punch, that's okay. You can just kind of fold it and cut it with some scissors. You can do that. So what you're going to wind up wanting to do is you want it to look like this, okay, so that the wind can catch inside of the cups. So I already did one, and I'm going to do this second one here. My holes are a little bit smaller than my straw, so I have 2 straws. They are bendy straws, and they, yes, are compostable straws. But so you kind of have to bend them a little bit to put them in there, but you want them then to lay like this. So if you guys can see that. If you have a hot glue gun, you can hot glue it, but I am finding that it is much, much easier to just use a stapler and staple this in there. Okay. So I'm going to push this down just a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit better. So I have this one this way, and I am going to turn this one going the opposite direction. Sorry, I'm like at the moment a little bit directionally challenged with this. So, all right. So one is going this way, and one is going the opposite direction. That way, then the wind will catch in the cups. So, sorry, I am stapling. Just got that stapled in there like this. So then you have 4 of these, right? Your 2, and you have 4 of them are on there. So what I'm going to do here is you can hot glue this, make an X or a T or whatever you want to call this. It's more of an X. You are going to want to staple this or hot glue it in the middle. I'm preferring to staple today because I just feel like the staples are a little bit more sturdy than the hot glue. I may reinforce with some hot glue. Be careful not to staple your fingers, which I've almost done a couple times. I'm going to put a couple of staples in here just to make sure that I've got it pretty good. So it should look like this when you're done, and look this way. Unfortunately, I can see that I've kind of made a little bit of a mistake here by making my things go opposite direction. So I'm actually going to turn them around to make them go the same direction. I do apologize for that. Kind of mess things up a little bit. So make sure when you do it, they are going the same direction. So they're all pointing in the same direction. It's just easy to pull them off of there and stick them back in and put them in through the other side. So you can do that. All right. Sorry. This is my first time making an anemometer as well. So bear with me. All right. So I got a staple I got to take out here. All right. So here we go. Oops. Just make sure it's in pretty good. All right. So all these are going the same direction. So what you're going to do is, if you have a little push pin or a nail or something, you're going to want to kind of take that. Unfortunately, my only push pin I had in my house was white, so it matches the straws. So poke a little hole in here, and then do that. If you have a paper clip, you can take your paper clip. They're pretty sturdy, so it's kind of nice, and you're going to undo your paper clip a little bit so that it looks like this. okay? And you can put your paper clip in there, and then what you're going to do is you're going to stick that into the eraser of a pencil, okay? So it'll go like this. I actually am going to use a stick pin. I do sew sometimes, so I have a lot of stick pins, and I just feel like it's a little bit sharper than the paper clip, so I feel like it's going to be a little easier to put in here. So you want to be pretty careful here and get it down as far as you can. So your anemometer should look something like this, and it should spin pretty easily. So before I started making my anemometer, I did get a piece of colored paper. As you can see on your directions, it does have that you need a piece of colored paper. I traced and then cut out a piece of colored paper. And what I'm going to do is, you guys can see this. Hopefully you can see it. Okay. I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm just going to stick this to the bottom of one of my cups. So the reason why I did that is because that is the cup that I'm going to look at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and I'm going to hold my anemometer up. I'm going to time it for 1 minute. I'm going to have my daughter help me. And then I'm going to count how many times this goes around in 1 minute. Tell you when to do it. Okay, so guys, all right, so I'm out here. I'm in my yard. I am checking out my anemometer here. So again, I'm going to use this yellow one as, hopefully you can see this. I know it's kind of bright, but the yellow one is going to be what I'm going to count. So how many times the yellow one goes around in 1 minute. My daughter is going to time me. So my anemometer is a little kind of wonky, so you might want to use a little bit stronger straw than I used. Again, I use compostable ones, so they're kind of already a little not as sturdy as maybe a different kind of straw. If you have like stir sticks or something, you could use those too. That might even work a little bit better, but I don't have those. So I did have a good gust of wind a second ago, and then it kind of went away. So all right, Emma, you gonna chime me for 1 minute? Okay, go ahead. So I got 2. Oh, I'm trying to get it to spin. Maybe I'll wish that my anemometer worked a little better. There it goes. Yes, a little further. There it goes. Okay. So, all right. That was about 4 times, which wasn't a lot in a minute, but we're going to go do some math with this now. So, yes, you do have to do a little bit of math. Okay, guys, so I did a little anemometer surgery over here, just mostly because I like I said, I didn't use very sturdy straws, so coffee stirrers might work or something like that. But what I did was I took some skewers and I put them on the end. It does spin a little bit better now. So again, so we had that going like this. Okay, remember we're counting. You're using this to count. You guys also can like stick this in the ground. It's probably more effective if you stick it in the ground. That way then you know it spins around and you can kind of count it and it should work on its own. So that's why you get the pencil with the point. Go ahead and just stick it in the ground and then let it spin around and count how many times it goes in 1 minute. So you have your directions here. Those are also attached to this. It tells you how to do this. So on another page, you're going to walk with me. On the last page of this, it gives you some math to do so you can actually figure out the wind speed. So I'm hoping that you guys can kind of see what I have here in my windows. So I kind of worked out this math for you. It is a little bit hard to see super sunny over here right now. I do apologize for that. So we've got the circumference. So we want that. So that's what's on your paper, and it tells you circumference of an anemometer. So I'm just going with the math that they had there. And to figure out the circumference, I need to take, so C, circumference equals pi times D, which is diameter. So I know C, again, that's circumference equals pi, which is 3.14 times 0.75 feet. So it's like 3/4 of a foot. So if I take that, right? So then I did that math and I come up with my circumference is 2.4 feet. Okay. So then I want to figure out the wind speed, and I have to do this in a couple of different steps here. So I'm going to take my revolutions per minute times the circumference over revolutions. So if I took this and I said it did 150 revolutions in 1 minute, I multiply that by 2.4 feet, and that gives me an answer of 360 feet per minute. Okay, so that's that part. Then here, again, I apologize about the sun. So then I take my 360 feet per minute times 60 minutes, which is 1 hour, times 1 mile, which is 5,280 feet. Okay. So now that you know that, so you'll need to use those numbers to figure this out. So then I've got my 360 feet, which I got from my answer over there in the other window, times 60 minutes, which gives me 21,600. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to divide that by the 5,280 feet, which gives me 4.09 miles per hour, or mph. So hopefully you guys can see that a little bit. I know it's like super bright over here, so I do apologize again. So that kind of tells you that there. So that's how you work out the math. So like I said, you're going to have to do a little bit of math to figure out how to do your anemometer and figure out the wind speed of that. So every day, what will happen if you weren't able to build your own barometer or anemometer, I will post what mine says. So I will take my anemometer out every day. I will figure out the wind speed every day. And then I do have my barometer, which is sitting over here. Up here, and I am measuring the air pressure every day with my barometer. So each day I'll post that too, like if my barometer says high pressure or low pressure, and I'll give you the wind speed, and then you'll be able to then do your predicting. So you'll have a couple of sheets on here. So you're going to have this video. You're going to have the directions on how to build the anemometer, and then you're going to have the sheet to put your picture of your anemometer up like you had with your barometer yesterday. And then you're also going to have one more sheet on there that is going to be your prediction, which is going to be over the next 4 days. So you're going to have to do it on Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. Okay, so you'll do those 4 days, and you'll just do that right on that document that you get from your teacher. So I hope you guys are doing well. This is just a little science here at the Goodowitz house. So enjoy.